Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 27th of September. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is a weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we're looking at Looka, Byron Energy, Invacare, Whitehaven Care and Data. So if you have a request, send me an email. Make sure you share this video on social media. I'll filter out the best ones and present them next week for you. And just bear in mind that any advice here is general only. So Looka, we'll start off with a weekly chart. We can see that it recently tested the old high and has failed. So zooming in, big sell-off in mid-August, and then the shares have struggled since then. One thing to bear in mind is that if we have a look at this previous low, it seems to have failed to overlap that. So that tells me we're likely to see a 5-wave decline. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, wave 4. I'm not sure if wave 4 is finished yet, but wave 5 should see the shares head back to under $9. Okay, Byron Energy, sticking with our weekly chart, mid last year rallied from under 10 cents to over 40 cents, and then it's eased back in almost the same length of time, but failed to go to a new low. So it looks just like a classic flag formation, and we've had a breakthrough of that, and it looks like we're almost about to get a crossing on the weekly MACD. So looking positive. The only thing I'd prefer is to see the previous high get taken out. So this is 37 cents, hasn't taken it out yet. If it does, that would be more positive, and then I'd be confident that it would resume the uptrend and head to a new high. Invacare, so it's still not looking very good. Big sell-off here on the weekly chart. Seemed like it was having a bit of a recovery, but then very negative price action again with volume coming in. So chart still looks negative. If it is finding support here and forming a higher low, that would be obviously a positive sign, but I'm just concerned that this sell-off here is so sharp that we haven't seen the end of it yet. So I reckon that Invacare will take out this low here. So no need to rush into this one. Whitehaven Care, this is a weekly chart going back the last couple of years, still looking pretty good. Bit of a sell-off from early July, but it managed to recover pretty well and put in a higher low. So here are all of our lows. So we've got a higher low, which is a positive. It's rebounded pretty well in the last few weeks. So this is a weekly chart. We'll zoom in so we could see it a bit clearer. So nice moves up, basically each sort of, last couple of candles sitting on top of the body of the previous one. Volume coming in on the way up. So far this is a good sign. The uptrend is in place. I think we'll see a new high for Whitehaven. And Data, so uptrend last couple of years, still sticking with my weekly chart. We'll just zoom in a bit more. There's a potential for a cup and handle formation. So as a continuation pattern, a cup and handle basically is where you get this sort of rounded off bottom, and then a little bit of a retest down here to form the handle. So that's the cup and that's the handle of the cup. My only concern is that sort of congesting back to form the handle. The sell-off has been a little bit brutal there, closing on the weekly lows, and we could see so far for this week we've had a bit of price rejection. So that's the only negative, but generally this would be a positive sign, this formation. And in terms of a target, what you do is firstly we need to see a break above here, and then we basically measure the depth here. So back of the envelope, sort of stuff, if we're talking about, say, let's say this is $3.10, let's say that's 280, 30 cents difference. When it breaks out, add 30 cents on top of your 310, that gives you about 340. That's very rough, so I think 340 is a minimum target, but we do need to see a break here first in order to achieve that target. All right, well, that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through and I'll cover it next week.